All right, so it looks like we're going to live stream.
And Elizabeth will be doing the recording, correct, Elizabeth, right beforehand?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And Charlotte, could you make me co-host again?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Is David McKenzie, is David R joining?
He may be.
Okay, because he's in the rating.
Yeah, you can let him in. He just wants to observe what we do. He's a little, we kind of already did it, but that's okay. Hey, David Rodenheiser, it's David McKenzie. I just wanted to let you know, we've already kind of done all of the setup stuff that we need to do. So we're going to get ready to go into the production meeting. So I'm going to be mute. We're not going to do any controls. We're allowing the participants to handle admission, mute, unmute, chat. We're just here as observers. And if they need me, they'll reach out and ask me to do something. So you don't have to stay. You don't have to stay for the whole thing. And if you've got other things you need to do right now, because we've already gone through it, you could drop off as well.
All right. I mean, I'll probably end up doing that, but I at least want to see how it works a little bit.
Yep. That's wonderful. Thanks.
And FYI, captions are coming across YouTube. I mean, they look pretty good. If you have a big monitor, they show up pretty well.
And excuse me, Betsy, we did identify the way to increase the font size. It's done by each individual.
Correct, in Zoom, right? But
in
I don't
Zoom,
think we can control. I'm not sure who controls
the size in YouTube. Correct.
Right. Was that the Beverly? Did she was made the captioner, correct? Maybe if she changes her settings, I don't know if that would work.
Elizabeth.
Hi, this is Beverly. No, I don't control it. It's who's ever controlling the Zoom meeting.
Right.
If it's taking it from their screen, whoever that person is should enlarge the font to large.
Okay.
So maybe Betsy, that's you.
Well, you're the host.
Well, at this point, you're the host, Charlotte. So if you want to go ahead and go down to your bottom tools, go to closed caption and change the size to large, it would be under subtitle settings.
Okay. Did that do anything?
We'll see.
Yep.
Here, I'll put some captions up.
I think it's Betsy because it's streaming to YouTube. It'll make it bigger on YouTube because it's pulling from her computer, is it not?
It's pulling from the host settings, I believe.
I think she's right, but Betsy, go ahead and set yours up to large too.
Mine have been on large, yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
And I don't want to burn much more time on fixing for this right now. We can deal with this on Monday's test. But Beverly, thank you for your input on this as well.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to go off mic and I'll see you on the end of the meeting.
Wonderful. I'm going to do the same.
Good morning.
Hi.
This is Vernon.
Vernon, you made it. I'm glad.
Right. I wanted to be on the computer, but they keep telling me that I needed to update. So I have an old computer, and I have ordered a webcam for my new computer. So I have to be on the phone.
Okay. Vernon, we're going to wait till 10 to start, just to let you know in case you don't hear anything.
Okay.
Hi, good morning, Catherine.
Good
Good.
morning, Catherine.
Good morning. How's everybody this morning?
Good. We're gonna get started at 10. Vernon's on the call now. And we have a number ending in 7377.
That's me, Charlotte. Donna Cantrell.
Oh, okay. Good morning, Diana.
Well, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good, good, good. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. We have Vernon and Catherine on now. We're gonna wait and start a little bit closer to 10.
Sure, sure, sure. Hi, Bernard. Hi.
Good morning, Diana.
I miss you guys.
Hi, Dr. Lindsay.
Is that better?
Yes, can hear you.
Apologize for being a little late, but we had another Zoomer. They're going to continue to do the work. I left them.
Okay, we have Diana, Catherine, and Vernon on the phone, on the Zoom already.
Good morning to you two. How are you?
Good morning, Dr. Lindsay.
Good morning, everybody. This is Catherine. I'm just a little slow with my mute.
We can hear your voice, Catherine. You're good.
Hi, Dr. Lindsay. This is Diana.
How are you?
Pretty good. I was telling Vernon that I miss you guys. Looks like it has been forever.
It has been.
It has been forever. Wow.
Well, it's 10:01, so if you'd like, we can go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody, to the Commonwealth Council on Aging Best Practices meeting. Due to the active state of emergency, this is an electronic meeting pursuant to item 4-0.01 of the 2020 Appropriation Act. Meeting notice has been provided. The meeting is being recorded and minutes are being taken. All votes will be conducted via a roll call of voting members. Meeting materials are posted under the Council on Aging's quarterly meeting tab at the link posted on the slide. Members of the public are able to live stream this meeting via the DARS YouTube page. Please be advised that if the live stream is interrupted, we will need to pause the meeting until it is restored. Public comment will be accepted by email or phone to my attention. Public comments that were received by June 15th, 2020 will be read, or if lengthy, summarized during the meeting when we reach that agenda item. Captioning will be included in the streaming as well. Working through the Zoom functions. Members, please keep your microphone on mute unless you're speaking. This helps reduce background noise. Might not be too much of an issue today with a smaller group. Also, before you speak, please state your name. This helps colleagues on the council and the committee know who's talking, but it also helps us with documenting the minutes. Members, if you have your video enabled, please be aware that the system may capture your image and the video in the public streaming and the recording. You can use the chat feature. The chat box is being monitored by my colleague, Elizabeth. You can also use reactions. You can do a thumbs up for agreement or a clap to raise your hand to speak. There are view options set up on the right side of the Zoom. You can set up yourself, and some features will be set up by the host. For all votes, we'll do a roll call and you'll be asked to indicate support, either a yay or a yes. For opposition, a nay or a no, or to abstain. I'd like to thank the DARS video teleconferencing team and the DARS communication team for helping make this electronic meeting possible. If you would like to view the real-time captioning of today's meeting in the Zoom, click on the CC button on the menu bar at the bottom and select show subtitles. You will have to turn on closed captioning if you want it. It is not automatically pulling up for you. Okay, now we can get started with the meeting. We'll do a roll call of members present to make sure that we have a quorum. David Farnham, I don't believe he is able to attend today. Richard Lindsay,
Present.
Diana Pagawa,
Here, present.
Catherine Reed,
Present?
Vernon Wilde,
Present?
and then Veronica Williams. Don't think she's joined. Great. For staff, we have several folks here. Myself, Charlotte Arbogast, Cecily Slazer, Elizabeth Pataka, David McKenzie, Betsy McElfresh, David Rodenhauser, and Donna Cantrell. Trying to get my slide to advance. There we go. As we get the meeting underway, we'll need to select and confirm the best practices committee chair for this year's meeting. Do I have any nominations?
This is
nominate-
Catherine.
This is Vernon. I nominate Dr. Lindsay.
This is Catherine Reed. I second that nomination.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Okay, we'll proceed with a roll call vote for Richard Lindsay to chair the meeting. Richard Lindsay, how do you vote?
I better abstain myself.
Okay. Diana? We'll come back to you. I think you have to
Oh,
unmute.
I'm sorry. Yeah, for Dr. Lindsay. I'm sorry, I was mute.
Okay. Catherine?
Yes?
Vernon?
Yes?
Okay. The motion passes. Okay. Next, we need to review and approve the agenda. You should have received the agenda. Are there any changes, proposed changes to the agenda?
No.
This is Catherine Reed. I move we approve the agenda.
Okay.
I second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll proceed to a vote. Richard Lindsay,
Yes.
Diana,
Yes.
Catherine,
Yes?
Vernon.
Yes?
The motion passes. The agenda has been adopted. Next, we need to approve the agenda, the minutes from last year's meeting. Everyone should have received a copy of these. Any discussion, or is there a motion?
I move we accept minutes from last year.
This is Catherine. I second.
Any further discussion? Okay, we'll proceed with the roll call vote. Richard, Dr. Lindsay,
Yes.
Diana,
Yes.
Catherine,
Yes?
Vernon.
Yes?
The motion is adopted, or the motion passes. Minutes have been adopted. Next, we're on the agenda item to review any written comment that was received. And I can report that we received no public comment. Next, we'll review the process. And I have a little blurb that I think will give a good synopsis of how we got here today. In the winter, January and February, the Best Practices Committee issued a request for nominations for the Best Practices Awards for 2020. Nominations were received over several weeks with a deadline in March. At that time, DAR's staff compiled the nominations and created a portal for committee members to score the nominations. The request for nominations that applicants received included the criteria that the committee would be looking for in their review process. This committee had previously planned to meet on March 17th, but the meeting had to be canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Throughout the spring, DAR's staff worked to develop a process to host electronic meetings, including this one. The committee meets today to discuss the outcomes of that scoring and decide on the winners. The committee received 20 nominations this year, and the awards were very competitive. Any questions on this process, or would anybody like to add anything about it before we move to the next agenda item? Okay. I'll now present the scoring report. Members have received a handout with the top 10 list of nominations. The outcomes are also posted on this slide. Nominations receiving the highest scores, placing them in the top 10, are Staples for Seniors and Fido's Pantry, nominated a program from the New River Valley Agency on Aging. Second, Jimmy's Pet Pals from Centera Martha Jefferson Hospital. There was a tie for third in the scoring. Medication Safety for Older Arlingtonians from the Arlington Agency on Aging, as well as Volunteer Solutions, Helping Hands Program from the Fairfax County Area Agency on Aging and Volunteer Solutions. Fifth, Housing Stability Learning Labs from the Longevity Project for Greater Richmond. Sixth, Ride Connection from Senior Connections, the Capital Area Agency on Aging. Seventh, Take Charge, Care Transitions and Intervention from the Central Virginia Alliance for Community Living. Eighth, Senior Food Boxes from the Local Office on Aging. Ninth, Volunteer Empowerment Model from Senior Services of Southeastern Virginia. And 10th, Great Gadgets for the Golden Years from Jefferson Area Board for Aging. At this time, we can proceed with the discussion and determination of the winners. And I will leave the discussion, I'll turn it over maybe to Dr. Lindsay to start things off.
This is first of all, I would begin by thanking Charlotte and our staff. Without their participation and their excellent help, both this meeting and a lot of the work we carry on would not be possible. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you, Charlotte, and also all your staff that have been participants in this venture. Also want to thank the members of the committee because they obviously have been a large part of the success of the program. I think it's important to recognize that they're sharing their time with all of us, and it's very valuable time. So I thank all the members of our committee. I think at this point in the program, as Charlotte has indicated, we had to make some changes, and this is our first virtual venture to this type of meeting. And so I think it's, again, a tribute to our staff for supporting us in this whole venture. But what are your thoughts about our procedure of ranking the winners as we have in the past with a total number of votes? And this point in time when it's open for discussion. So please feel free to comment.
Hi, this is Catherine Reed, and I would also like to express my gratitude for the excellent management of this process by the DAR staff and Charlotte. I need to disclose a possible conflict of interest with the scoring. Subsequent to the time that we submitted our scores, I initiated a very part-time consultant role with one of the organizations that are represented. And so I think this needs to be discussed in terms of how this committee would like to either use or recuse my score for the Jimmy's Pet Pals #2. I personally loved this project. I don't really know the individual who submitted the project, but I am consulting with Centera Martha Jefferson Hospital. And so I just don't want there to be any perception of favoritism or conflict of interest.
That gives me this is Dr. Lindsay. That gives me an opportunity to say that I also, in the total list of applications, I have a conflict. I serve on the board of the Jefferson Area Board for Aging, so that applications, I would be in conflict. Other comments, criticisms of where we are, or thoughts about our process of selection and our process of actually ranking this year the winners by their vote total? Very quiet. Go ahead.
I have no problem, especially with Catherine, because it appears as if what she's talking about happened after we had submitted our scores. So acting now as a consultant after the fact, I don't see any problem there, just personally.
This is Diana Pawaga. I agree with Vernon. This was after the fact, so I don't have any issue.
Charlotte, you're the parliamentarian here. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that the committee can decide. I see the perspectives of both Vernon and Diana on this one. I would say, Dr. Lindsay, I believe you recused yourself from scoring the JABA one. So
Yes, ma'am.
And the way that our team calculates them is we adjust for when a individual has withdrawn from scoring, so that isn't held against them in the overall outcome. So
we should also mention, this is Dr. Lindsay again, we should also mention that there was a tie between the medication safety for older Arlingtonians and the volunteer solutions. My thinking and our thoughts were that perhaps that would result in a tie, and that we divide the award between the two tie location people. Any thoughts on that?
This is Catherine Reed, and I believe we have a precedent in the past for taking that action. And if we have a tie, I think dividing the award between the two agencies is a great solution.
Other comments?
I agree. This is Diana Pawaga.
Hearing none, I think the other, as the floor is open to a resolution for a vote to accept the ranking situation as our award solution for this year's Best Practice Award. I think, again, it's just worthwhile to mention for people online that the purpose of this award is to develop really outstanding, unique programs for older Virginians that are unique and serve the purposes of vast array of people, disability people, older people. So it's a very important program. It's now in about its 17th or 18th year, so it's been around for a while. Many of these programs have been replicated, so it's a very important source of new and innovative ideas and programs for older people in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
This is Charlotte. I just also want to, usually the committee, you know, in the absence of a tie, usually picks a first, second, and third, and then 3 honorable mentions.
Motion by could include that. Do I hear a motion?
This is Catherine Reed. I move that we award the first, second, and third awards, and then also 3 honorable mentions.
I second that.
With the caveat, there's a tie for as we mentioned before.
Agreed, yes.
It's been made and seconded that this motion for the this year's awards include the top 3 places with a tie for third, and then the honorable mentions.
So we have a motion from Catherine Reed and we have a second from Vernon. I'll go through the roll call vote. Dr. Lindsay, how do you vote?
Yes.
Diana Pagawa,
Yes.
Catherine Reed,
Yes.
Vernon Wilde.
Yes.
With that, the motion is passed and
Thank you all for that. And Charlie, you want me to go ahead and move on to the ceremonies discussion?
yes.
Well, as you know, in the past, this is a very important thing for many of the local agencies and organizations that receive the award. So we try to maximize their time in the sun in the sense that their press release and their so forth are important. But we try to give them a lot of support and appear at each of the locations and make the award in person. So it requires a little bit of travel time on the part of the staff. But more importantly, it also, we ask that people who are in the area, who are on the committee, make sure that if they possibly can, that they appear and try to enlist all the local representatives in terms of government representatives, other agencies that are involved in the field, and make them aware of the fact that there's going to be this award, and then to really back up the honorable winners with this show of support. So it's an important part of our mission to optimize the visibility of the award for the local organization that receives it. I just hope that all of you can help us in that regard, and will when we come to your area, if there's a winner in your area, and get a maximum turnout for us. So that would be my comment on that. And I think Charlotte keeps us all appraised about what the dates are, what we're going to do with that. So you'll hear subsequently what possible scheduling you might have to make in terms of your ability to be there. So that's all I would have to say. Now, Charlotte, do you have any additional thoughts or comments?
Yes. So at this point, we'll be reaching out to the winners. Today, we'll draft some letters and send those out electronically, as well as the notices to the other applicants. I would say that we should be cautious and be aware of any in-person ceremonies, at least in the near future, that might not be quite a viable opportunity. And so whether we'll discuss with the award winners whether they would prefer a virtual ceremony of sorts, or to delay until it is safe and appropriate for everyone.
I think the possibility to be like this, Dr. Lindsay, the possibility to be virtual is very, very high. So I would agree with you. We'll have to make some arrangements for that.
Yeah, I think there's also some opportunities with a virtual one. You know, if we did get everybody together and we could do an opportunity like this where it was streamed live and recorded, that might provide them something tangible as well that they can share with their clients or their donors or their community, and have a reach beyond maybe even just an in-person one would usually have.
Any other thoughts or discussions on the ceremony from the committee members?
Well, this is Vernon again. It may be best to go virtual because I'm thinking in terms of last year where I went with the presentation to one of the applicants. They had standing room only in that particular conference room. So we may want to stay away from that.
I would agree, Vernon.
I would say too, usually, we were planned to have a governor's conference on aging this year. And with the delay and the pandemic, that's been postponed until next year. Otherwise, we would have also tried to coordinate some recognition during that as well.
This is Catherine Reed. I have an alternative idea that you might consider in addition to the recognitions. Would it be possible to invite the award winners and honorable mentions to submit a short video of their work that could perhaps be uploaded onto the DARS website as an example for others who might be interested or would like to replicate their projects?
I think this is Dr. Lindsay. I think that's an excellent thought. The other one I had would be to have a webinar in which you have the participants on the webinar and they present on the webinar in that format, because that makes it available to people at different times. That's the only advantage to it.
That's a great, and a webinar could be recorded and also placed on the website too. Is that
Right.
correct?
Right.
Yes.
This is Diana. I love the idea because I mean that we had to really showcase this is the most important thing for them to be so that the people know, public knows about these programs.
Now, this is Dr. Lindsay again. One of the important points of our whole thrust is to make sure that there's a high likelihood that the project that's being presented and awarded is replicable. It can be duplicated in other places. And so having it in a fixed location like that gives a lot of people an opportunity to go there and learn a little bit more about it than you would be just having a ceremony. And I think that gives us a chance to allow more replicability, which is what we're all about in the first place.
But this is Vernon. I'm in total agreement with the idea. I think it's good.
This is Charlotte. We can definitely, as DAR staff, look into how that might work.
Very good. Other thoughts? Charlotte, I think that concludes all the business, unless there's some other business to be dealt with.
Nope, that's it.
Can I hear a motion to adjourn?
I move to be adjourned.
I have Diana as first, as Vernon as a second. We'll do a roll call. Richard Lindsay,
Aye.
Diana Pagawa.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Catherine Reed,
Yes.
Vernon Wilde.
Yes.
Great. That said, the motion passes and the meeting is adjourned.
This is Dr. Lindsay. Before we go, I just again want to thank the committee members for their work, because it's not an easy job to look through those applications. I think it takes a lot of time. You've done a great job. And again, second everybody's thoughts that without Charlotte, we would not be able to function very well and her staff. So please remember that when you think about this event. And Charlotte, we all come from the ground of saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody have a good day and stay safe.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. I would just add that it takes it.
Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you for your staff. You are amazing. You are really, really amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I would just add it does take a team, and we had a lot of help, especially with the scoring from Tanya Brinkley on our team. And as always, Cecily is always very helpful in making sure these meetings go off seamlessly. And the VTC and communications team and policy folks, thank you for your help.
Well said.
I want to say, okay, all right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, it's Beverly. Are we off air?
Elizabeth, I think you can stop the stream.
You
Or
can,
Betsy.
as host has to stop the stream.
Oh, do I have to end the meeting to do that?
Yeah, you can end the meeting, or you can actually go to your button at the bottom and end live stream, either way.